As the host of Rehab Addict, Nicole Curtis won over fans by fixing everything from messy bathrooms to rotting hallways. But her own life hasn't always been easy. From bitter court battles to nearly losing everything in a deadly fire, her story is one of heartbreak and resilience. Long before she made a name for herself in real estate, Nicole Curtis was an enthusiastic entrepreneur who owned a cleaning business. It was a trade Curtis established amid a ton of criticism. As she shared in a reflective Instagram post in December 2024, she wrote, "I remember when I first saw my company name and logo on my car in 1998, Miss Cleaning Company. Some laughed that I was so proud that I just cleaned houses." Curtis's business grew to be successful. As she revealed in a TEDx talk, she made enough money to purchase her first home, a bungalow. The venture also provided the funds she needed to earn a degree in early elementary education. However, as the Great Recession came around, Curtis's life took a different trajectory. Her business was hit hard by the economic decline since most homeowners in Detroit couldn't afford her services anymore. Needless to say, Curtis found herself back in the job market. Curtis moved to Minneapolis for a fresh start with hopes of landing her dream job on Target's corporate commercial design team. She secured 3 interviews, but was crushed when her candidacy was dismissed in a rather ruthless manner, with an HR employee telling her she wasn't a good fit. Curtis explained, "My heart stopped. I had banked everything on getting this job. Like there wasn't an idea out there of me not having this job. What was I going to do now? And I lost it." Curtis's issues with her ex-boyfriend, Jason Jenny, date back to 2009, when the duo reportedly purchased a Minnesota home christened the Minnehaha House. The pair renovated the house in a process that was documented on Season 1 of Rehab Addict. When the house went up for sale, Jenny snagged it for nearly double the cost of its purchase. Per Curtis's account, the property's ownership was supposed to be joint, but she was left out of the final deal.
I retain all the properties. I don't sell them because otherwise I would lose money on every single one of them.
Following the couple's fallout, Curtis addressed the feud in a Facebook post, writing in part, "Oh, that Minnehaha house. Does it ever stop being an emotional story for me? Never. It's an ugly court adventure, but I still love her more than ever. Don't ask because you know I can't tell, but just know that the mistakes I made have made me stronger than ever." In court, Curtis claimed that an offer to buy the house was sabotaged by Jenny. She accused Jenny of several offenses, including acting in bad faith and defamation, while Jenny countered her lawsuit with claims of slander of title. The case was ultimately dismissed. Speaking to Cape Cod Times about the entire fiasco, Curtis said, "It wasn't a healthy place for me, but I didn't know it at the time."
It's a very emotional moment when the house is finally finished.
In 2015, Nicole Curtis was the victim of an alleged carjacking, the details of which she shared in a since-deleted Facebook post. In her post, Curtis said she was heavily impacted by the traumatic event, and she hoped to one day cross paths with her assailant and say a prayer for him. However, Curtis's version of events appeared to contradict the story told by law authorities, as the Detroit Free Press reported. The police claimed that the incident was a case of theft, not carjacking. According to the police, Curtis was helping a child get into a parked car when a robber snatched her purse and ran away. Later, Curtis took to Facebook to set the record straight. In her second post, she recalled the sequence of events that occurred in the presence of her family. Curtis wrote, "A black SUV was parked running in front of our vehicle when we approached our car. As we were loading into the car, one of the passengers jumped out of the black SUV, jumped into my driver's seat, went for keys. They then grabbed my large work bag from where they were sitting in my car." Curtis attributed the difference in stories to news outlets running their own version of the story. Curtis and her ex-boyfriend Shane McGuire had an on-again, off-again relationship, and just when their romance had finally come to an end, Curtis learned that she was expecting. The duo welcomed a son named Harper in May 2015. Following her breakup with McGuire, Curtis dated Ryan Sawtelle, an actor and philanthropist. There was no love lost between the exes. Toward the end of 2015, McGuire took Curtis to court to establish the paternity of their child and also seek joint custody in the event that the results were positive. Although DNA results proved that McGuire was the father, he and Curtis still had a messy custody battle that continued for another 3 years. Amid the legal battle, the duo kept butting heads publicly and privately. In February 2017, Curtis took to Instagram to make claims that McGuire shamed her for breastfeeding in the open. The following year, McGuire alleged, through court filings, that his co-parenting experience with Curtis was a nightmare. As The Blast reported, for this reason, he was seeking sole custody of their son. The pair was reported to finally have found common ground in October 2018. In a joint custody agreement, Curtis and McGuire were both made responsible for their son's welfare. Nevertheless, Curtis's joy after finally burying the hatchet was short-lived. The ex's feud continued well into Thanksgiving 2018, during which Curtis alleged that Harper was abruptly taken from her, according to an interview with People. Celebrities and their parents don't always see eye to eye, and Nicole Curtis is no exception. However, her relationship with her parents hasn't always been sour. In a June 2014 post on Facebook, she shared an adorable throwback picture of herself, her brother, and her dad. Similarly, in August 2013, she shared a photo of herself posing with her mom and her aunt, both of whom had visited her at work. 3 years later, Nicole was embroiled in a contentious legal war with her parents. Per reports, the real estate entrepreneur's mother, Joan Curtis, sought a personal protection order against her for alleged harassment. The pair had reportedly blocked each other after an argument that was said to have stemmed from Nicole's grandmother's funeral, an event Nicole claimed to have handled all on her own.
She wanted you there, and you didn't come. I didn't keep you from a funeral. I didn't keep you from being by your mother's side.
The mother and daughter had a heated exchange in court. Nicole's father wasn't spared from the family feud either, since Nicole claimed he had previously threatened to disclose personal information about her to the media. Nicole discussed the sad state of her family affairs in a later chat with Country Living, saying, "Our situation is absolutely horrifying and heartbreaking." The Palisades fire began at a popular hiking trail in Los Angeles in January 2025 and quickly spread over a 24-day period. The catastrophic fire caused severe damage to several amenities and structures, including schools, restaurants, and homes, prompting several celebrities to share their gut-wrenching reactions. Curtis happened to be in Detroit when she learned about the sad news, and she later took to Instagram to chronicle the distressing series of events that followed when she and her family decided to return home to Los Angeles. Curtis wrote, "I packed up and we boarded a plane, terrified with a brave mom face and everything's fine response." Well, that was 5 hours of crazy. As 9 minutes into my flight, the Hills fire started. School got canceled and then our neighborhood was evacuated. Although the fear of the unknown was terrifying, Curtis revealed that she leaned on the assurance and kindness of friends to get by. She went on to say that when she got to LAX, she was confused and unsure of where to go. However, she and her family ultimately made it home safely. Curtis was lucky to keep her home, especially since many celebrities lost their homes to the wildfires. Still, the coast wasn't clear, and her household was in distress as they prepared for the worst. Curtis wrote on Instagram, "We stayed dressed last night. Suitcases at the door." Over the years, Curtis has worked hard to provide for her family.
When you're passionate about what you do, everybody around you knows what you do.
The mother of two prides herself in being able to be successful in a male-dominated field, but make no mistake, she would trade it all in a heartbeat. In a chat with Fox News Digital, Curtis expressed regret over choosing her career over her family. She told the outlet, "I was chasing that money hard because I wanted a better life for us. And there were moments when, I'll be honest, when I definitely thought maybe this would have been better if I was still cleaning houses, because I did sacrifice quality time with a family in those early years." In light of that realization, Curtis decided to put her family first. Ahead of the premiere of Season 9 of Rehab Addict, Curtis vowed not to compromise on quality time with her boys. Curtis took further measures to launch her own production company so she would be in control of her time. Finally, Curtis made changes to her filming approach by protecting her children's privacy and excluding them from the show. Curtis's 2015 pregnancy announcement was unlike most celebrity baby bump reveals. She posted a picture of herself wearing a figure-hugging dress that outlined her visible bump, all while adorably holding her pet dog, Lucy. Her caption was a playful joke that sparked creative responses in the comments section. Curtis wrote, "To answer all your questions, yes, I was asked to be a surrogate. Lucy decided after all these years she wanted her own pups. We all kindly ask for privacy, and we still say, spay or neuter your pets." While Curtis wore a wide smile that spoke of excitement, it was the exact opposite of Shane McGuire's reaction when he first learned that she was pregnant. Curtis recounted the sad moment in her memoir, "Better Than New: Lessons I've Learned from Saving Old Homes and How They Saved Me," writing, "I had wanted my fabulous mister to look at me with tears in his eyes and say what I was thinking, that this was the greatest thing we'd never asked for." Curtis went to great lengths to keep her pregnancy private. Her dog Lucy came in handy as a prop whenever she was filming Rehab Addict. Furthermore, she kept away from the prying eyes of the media. Her secrecy was tied to the fear of public opinion. Curtis told People, "I was worried about being judged. It was a very difficult time for me. There I was, almost 40, having another child on my own." Curtis had an endearing relationship with her grandmother, who was a big presence in her life growing up.
I had a grandmother that was just a go-getter and just really taught us to always appreciate every single thing we had.
When she died shortly after celebrating her 70th wedding anniversary in 2016, a heavy-hearted Curtis took to Facebook to share the sad news. She wrote, "My gram passed away. There's nothing that will numb this. I will never match her accomplishments, her grace, her heart. Please pray for my Gramps." 70 years he had with her. The passing of Curtis's grandmother brought her closer to her grandfather. The duo even made plans on how they would talk to each other in the afterlife, but they did not forget to cherish every moment of fun in real life. In a 2018 post on Instagram, Curtis, who was on vacation in Florida, shared that she and the children were having a good time playing in the sand, flying kites, and spending time with her grandfather. Sadly, Curtis's grandfather died shortly after he turned 93. Curtis continues to honor her grandparents' memory by having pictures of them mounted inside her renovated houses, which are rented on Airbnb. She shared one such picture on Instagram with the caption, "Good Friday, my grandparents watching over me. We never advertise my houses on Airbnb as mine, but these giant pics of my grandparents tend to give it away."